The Artisan Collection from John Varvatos is almost like a hidden gem. I've been wanting to do a full review of this line for a while, and finally I have all of them. The one that I was missing was the Artisan Black. Quite a unique scent, and I'm very happy to finally have acquired it. Then again, most of the Varvatos fragrances, or pretty much all of them, are a little bit on the unique side, which makes them so incredibly appealing. And what makes this designer's fragrances even more attractive is that usually you can find them at a good price.
Very good price.
At your local or online sources. For some of them, of course, you may have to set a reminder, as all of them aren't going to be always available. This one or that one may pop up every now and then. And with this video, you will know exactly which ones you will want to get reminded of. So get comfortable, settle in, and let's look at the Artisan line from John Varvatos. John Varvatos' origins are from Greece. At least that's where his extended family is from. Varvatos himself was born in Detroit, Michigan, and is an American designer. In his early years, he worked for Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and in the late 90s, Varvatos created his first or his own brand. Today, there are numerous stores and boutiques all over. Perhaps you are like me and you feel like you have a bit of the rock and roll from the 80s left in you.
Where? Back to the future.
Then you totally have to check out these stores. Personally, I pretty much could wear anything from the Varvatos brand and feel like a complete rock star. And we would not be in bad company, as stars like Iggy Pop, Alice Cooper, and Dave Matthews have all contributed to the success story of the Varvatos brand. Also, if you haven't had the opportunity to smell the original Varvatos from 2004 or the Varvatos Vintage from 2006, or the Dark Rebel from 2015, then you are missing out. I still wear all of these all the time. These are awesome fragrances. The Artisan line is not as dark as the three I just mentioned. I think the Artisan fragrances are more for, making a statement in the summer and gather some compliments, if you will. The first one from the Artisan line launched in 2009 and was simply called Artisan. Artisan, the word itself, declares a creation of something with high quality materials and is usually created by hand. This fits perfectly since the Artisan fragrances all have sort of a wicker shell like this one right here. Artisan 2009 is a citrus aromatic and it has this classic flacon covered in a tan wicker material. Artisan was created by the perfumer Rodrigo Flores Roux. Varvatos commissioned this perfumer for many of his fragrances, including the Oud Dark Rebel and Rider, Artisan Aqua, Artisan Pure, Artisan Black, and the original John Varvatos, and the stellar vintage one as well. If you are wondering what other fragrance brands or what other fragrances Rodrigo Flores Roux created, here are a few. We have Dolce & Gabbana, the one in gold. We have Tom Ford's, the new one, Ebony Fume, and Neroli Portofino, which we will get back to in just a minute. Let's give this Artisan a spray and see what we get. This original Artisan starts with a blast of citrus. Not sharp like bergamot. I like bergamot, but it has a little bit of a tanginess to it. This one does not. It's more like an orange fruit, so it's sweeter, not quite as tangy. The notes from the top here are going to be tangerine and clementine. I did have this one as one of my spring favorites since it has some weight to it and still can handle some of the cooler weather in like the spring. It almost has a neroli feeling to it. Quite powerful, although it's not quite as bright, nor is the note of neroli listed. The musk and amber in this fragrance, keep it from being too bright. Like I said, it has some heft to it, and for me, this would be too heavy in the middle of the summer due to the sweet orange citrus that come across a little bit too thick in the summer heat. Unfortunately, with most of the Varvatos fragrances, not all of them, but most of them, the longevity and protection is just okay. It's not going to be super great or super big, and it's not going to be terrible. It's just kind of in the middle, which basically means you'll have to spray your clothes, a double pump on each side for a more aggressive scent bubble with most of the Artisan fragrances.
Pump it up by about 40%.
No worry, it won't break your bank. The following year in 2010, Varvatos released Artisan Black. That's the one I was still missing. I just got it the other day. I'm really happy with it. It's an identical flacon, only it's going to be in black with a shiny, black Vicker cover. Let's give this one a spray and see what we get immediately here. Same sprayer. Now, all of the Artisan fragrances are going to be an eau de toilette concentration, and they come in 125 milliliter or 4.2 fluid ounces. Some of them are also available in a little bit of smaller bottle of 75 milliliter and 2.5 fluid ounces. This Artisan Black right here is going to be a little bit more subtle than the original Artisan, probably because there's a watermelon note in this one. Kind of similar to the first one, but a little bit more subdued. The original Artisan makes me think that I am walking in the Italian or Greek coast while walking through an orange or citrus field. While this one right here, the Artisan Black, has more of a retro feel to me. And I'm no longer walking, I've now been driving in a car with the leather seats next to a wooded area alongside an orange field. But driving for quite a bit. I say have been driving due to the slightly resinous, musky feel. It feels a little bit more sort of worn in right from the start. Now, it's not a bad thing at all. I kind of like that. Sometimes it's exactly what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, this Artisan Black is going to be one of the hardest ones to find, since it took me a while. I do enjoy the slightly dark feeling from this one. It's kind of cool, since it is, wearable in the summer. It's not quite as dense and thick as the original Artisan. I did find the protection and longevity to suffer just a little bit compared to the other one. It becomes a skin scent fairly quickly, so you do have to spray up on this one, maybe even 3 sprays as you go along. But it is a beautiful scent, and it's a little bit more subdued than the original Artisan, with a hint of leather in there and a touch of neroli. Bit of a nostalgic feel on this one. Quite nice. If you like the original Artisan, then you're probably going to like the Artisan Black. 3 years later, in 2013, the Artisan brand released Artisan Aqua. This time this fragrance comes in a tan tie knot cover with a brown sort of rustic medallion around the neck and shoulders. This is a 75 milliliter flacon, 2.5 fluid ounces, like we talked about earlier, if you want to compare the sizes. It's just a little bit smaller, but I think it is actually plenty, 75 milliliters. Artisan Aqua is a unique fragrance in the style and notes. Most notably, the note of pomelo. Pomelo note is itself a sparkly citrus, much like grapefruit. Other unique notes in this one are also going to be Tuscanol, which gives it a bit of a spicy licorice nuance. And then you have Palmarosa and Angelica, a note that is used in Prada's Luna Rossa Black for a mildly sweet, rooty nuance. But let's give this one a spray and see how unique it is. Artisan Aqua is going to be a green, fresh scent. Slightly old school. It's got some galbanum, some lavender pushing through. Beautiful and piney green fougere with a soft touch of citrus. I think this one would work great when it's hot outside. Along the lines of Acqua di Parma Colonia Club with a touch of Platinum Egoist perhaps. This one is piney, it's green, a little old school, a little bit of a barbershop feel, and somewhat soapy. Let's move on to the next one from 2016. It's going to be Artisan Blue. This is a favorite for many people. This is a really loved one. It is going to be close to the Artisan Aqua bottle in design as well as in fragrance. With the color, of course, being blue and not tan, the Artisan Blue also sports the same sort of medallion on the front and the tie knot cover, and has a blue bottle, of course. This is going to be a tamer fragrance than Aqua, although it's going to be along the same lines. It does smell similar but smoother. The tartness that I spoke of earlier that the Aqua had, like the comparison to the Chanel Platinum comparison, is going to be completely gone. And there's an iris note in the middle, and then you have a lovely pistachio note at the base of this one. So altogether, it's rounded out, it's a little bit more smooth, not quite as tart as the Aqua. The soapy green old school vibe, however, is still going to be there, although it is toned down more than it is in the Aqua. There's also a slight blue vibe in this one. It's a good one for summer vacation, I think, if you like a clean green vibe with a slight blue touch. Really nice. It's a really unique fragrance. Many people love this one right here. And that's Artisan Blue from 2016. Remember when I said we will get right back to it in a minute or two? Well, here we are. In 2017, Varvatos launched Artisan Pure. This time the bottle is white, a white wicker, although it is not going to be quite as tightly woven as the original one. See how tightly that's woven? This one is a little bit more skimpy. Earlier I also said that Rodrigo Flores Roux worked on Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. Well, it is 100% evident in Artisan Pure. Many people compare these two, to one another. And there's no doubt. You can totally tell that these are alike. However, I'm not gonna go into, get into the middle of this right now. After all, there is a fragrance out there from 1792 that has this one and Tom Ford's fragrance beat. Maybe not in smell, but definitely in price. Yes, 1792 Echt Kölnisch Wasser also smells very, very similar. It just doesn't have the staying power since it has no amber or musk in the base. But it does have them beat because literally you can buy this fragrance right here. You can buy an 800 milliliter bottle for like 35 bucks. And you can keep on splashing all day. That's 4711 from 1792 Echt Kölnisch Wasser. You'd have to go and, this is a splash right here. So you have to splash a lot. But they are going to be reminiscent of each other for sure. As for Artisan Pure, I really like it on super hot days. I love the bright citrus of this one. There's some mild green sort of spice and the classic amber and musk dry down with a touch of earthiness. This is a beautiful fragrance when it's hot outside. Absolutely love it. And yes, it is reminiscent of Tom Ford or the 4711. The only thing that's going to be missing in this one, comparing it to the Tom Ford for just a minute, is going to be the soft florals that the Tom Ford is going to bring to the table. Otherwise, this is a much better price, a great fragrance for when it's really, really hot outside. Love this Artisan Pure from Varvatos. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. Do you think these are same or similar, or would you wear one over the other? Which one's your favorite? Have you tried 4711 from 1792? A great fragrance, really cheap. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on board. And remember, our fragrance journey begins with but one single scent. Let's move on to the next one, and it is Artisan 2020. Or XX or Artisan 20 or 20 Artisan, however you want to name it. This one is out of the Artisan line. I could wear this one every single day. It's just unique enough to make people wonder what you're wearing without being in anybody's sort of personal space. Really like this one. This one comes in a silver sort of wicker flacon. Same one as the Artisan Pure, a little skimpy on the weaving. But, the silver is really perfect for this release. It's going to have a simple citrus opening of bergamot, a little bit of bitter orange. Nothing too unusual here. Actually, you have smelled this probably many, many times somewhere. But yet there is something in the back that makes you wonder what this fragrance is. Could it be the pepper? Could it be the wormwood? Is it the geranium that's in here? It's really lovely. The background gives it a slightly metallic nuance. That's why I think this silver flacon is perfect for it. The vetiver and cedar in this one keep it from getting a little bit too musky. This Artisan 20 or XX is a super good one, and perhaps it smells a little bit like a milder version of Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver. You can't go wrong, especially at this price point. This is a great fragrance, and like I said, I can wear this one every day and never get tired of it. Now, would I wear this one, in the winter time? No, I'd wear the Tom Ford, Grey Vetiver because I need the extra punch. Like I said, all of these are going to have a similar projection, and longevity. They're not going to be too powerful. all of my eau de toilette concentration. So you need to spray more of it. But if you like something along the line of the Tom Ford Grey Vetiver that's a little bit softer, not quite as strong, this is a great choice. I love this one. XX 2020 Artisan. You're not going to believe this, but the 2022 XX Artisan Teal is actually going to be a marine fragrance. Yay! Or did we celebrate too soon? Let's look at the flacon. We have been victimized by shrinkflation again.
The keyword is it's cheap.
The wicker is getting ever more sparse. Before you know it, all we'll have left is a single strip of wicker.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, only one piece.
Shrinkflation, I say. At least we do have the original flacon left. And I do like, the Varvatos flacons. They feel very nice. Let's give this one a spray and see where we land. Kind of a little puny sprayer. It could be better. I think we're going to be on to something on this one. It definitely feels like a summer fragrance. It's sort of a bit herbal, a little bit lemony. That's a good start. It has some herbs, but it isn't like piney green like the other ones were. There's a little bit of an herbal feel to it. More along the lines of an aquatic green, maybe with a slight touch of sea salt. It is quite nice. I like the fact that it doesn't try to be too sweet. For me, it reminds me of the YSL Ys and the Aqua di Gios of the fragrance world. It's along those fragrances. If you're really enjoying those lately, then you will like this Artisan Teal. There are also notes of driftwood, which also is found in Costa Azzurra from Tom Ford. And you will notice this as you smell it. It does remind you a little bit of, fragrances you've smelled before, without a doubt. There's also some sea salt, and the lemon make this one a great summer fragrance. The musk in the base, holds it all together and lends it a little bit of masculinity. It's very nice. It's a nice addition to the Artisan line, in my opinion. It's a great summer fragrance with a little bit of a touch of Costa Azzurra in there. Then it is a really beautiful scent. Perhaps not as unique as some of the others in the line. I'm just really happy that we finally got a true aquatic fragrance from the Artisan line, since we were expecting it pretty much from the beginning. Ciao.